What is up, folks? Let's clean that up here. Welcome back to another live stream repair. Boy, it's a mess, but we've got stuff to fix. We got a lot of HomePods to fix. Let's see here. Anchor's gonna be up first, it looks like, with no power. Reclaim my desk space. Oh, there we go. So we've got Anchor with no power. And then it's going to be Oscar, and then 3701. Oops. And then Tony with a brick. It's actually, we looked at Tony's a few days ago. Ended up having a hardware issue. We've got another HomePod for a logic board that we can use for it. And then, so let's see, Tony, Oscar, 3701. We've got 3679 charged up jacks. With no power. And then Neil with some bad bass. 3687. Needs some maintenance, and man, there's a lot. 3693 is a brick. New line. 3692 with no power. 3503 with no power. The second HomePod they've sent in to us, hence the lower number there. Got Daniel with 2 HomePods. One with bad bass, one with, I think, no power. And then we've got 3682. No power. And then Deborah. No power. Last is going to be 3668 with bad bass. There is another fella sitting back there in the pile that specifically requested not to be streamed, so there you have it. Goodness, that's a cue. Not sure how many we're going to get fixed today. Not much, given how late we're starting here. But we can knock a few out here. Try to not get too far behind. Let's get our camera resituated here. And we got a few people to message. Let's shoot Anchor a message here. A text message, I suppose. Oh, I guess not. No, it looks like I actually emailed them. Here we go. Clicky keyboard. Here they are. Cool. And then we'll message Oscar, and then we will get started. Oscar number 3615. 3615. Oh, beautiful. Another email. And let's see, of course, who's in the chat here? Who's in the chat? What is up, Stefan? Welcome. Shuffle Hands. Welcome, welcome. Richard Nixon. Welcome, welcome. I'm feeling I'm in a bit of a better mood than I was a few hours ago. I'm still kind of grumpy, but I'm feeling better. The food's kicking in. Let's see, Bam. Ooh, Bam, welcome back. Everyone's heard I'm cranky today. Yeah. Let's hydrate. And what do we've got here? No power from Anchor, no lights, no nothing. Not a hint. Other than the power draw from the wall, which tells me it appears to be the most common dead diode inside waiting for us. Ooh, we do have a bit of a crack right there. That's not showing up on the camera too well. Right there, we have a teeny tiny crack on the edge there. I'm going to start somewhere else so that hopefully we don't make that any worse. John, what is up? Welcome. Everyone guessing my keyboard switches in the chat. You think those are Cherry MX Reds? Oh, that's silly. You silly. Cherry MX Reds are silent and linear, so they have no tactile bump and they have no sound. The only sound you hear from Cherry MX Red switches are the sounds coming from the rest of the board. Are these Cherry Blues? I don't think these are actually Cherry brand cherries. I think these might be... Oh, they are Cherry brand cherries. The bottom ones are Cherry MX Reds. The letters are blues. And yeah, pretty much the only reds on here are the mouse buttons. And then everything else is Cherry MX Blue. Oh, I lied. They're pinks. They're kale pinks. Okay, interesting combination here. It's all I built this keyboard a few months ago, and it's all starting to come back to me now. I did cherry pinks, no, kale pinks for the letters, and I did cherry reds for the mouse buttons. What a combo. What a combo. I can't even remember what I put together there. I like the pinks. They're just like Cherry MX Blues, but they have a slightly... what was it? Yeah, I think they're slightly heavier than the Blues. I can't remember. But they get the clicky... You get the clicky, the audible feedback, and the tactile bump. I don't like reds a whole lot, especially for typing. Obviously, you tend to make more mistakes on reds, but they tend to be nice for gaming, at least. For typing, I like my clickies. Felix, welcome. Let me see what number yours was. Oh, that's right. You are coming up after Tony. We'll see if we can get to yours before we run out of time today. It's going to be a tight squeeze. My rubbing alcohol. Let me go get it. No, I'm not moving the top right camera. It hides the mess on my desk. You'd be otherwise staring at... At least you get to look at my meters over there. Is this becoming a full-time job? It sure feels like it. It's just been a long day. Woke up too early. Went into the office. Never-ending stream of broken things and various support issues to try to help with. And then on my way home, UPS lets me know that I've got like 15 HomePods that showed up to get fixed, and it's just like, ugh. And then I've got like a dozen or so different people texting me at the same time throughout various stages of their repairs, or a couple of people that need some warranty work, and where's my stuff, where's my adapter, where's the part that I bought, where's my HomePod. It's been a long day. A very long, busy day. And then I still have to sit down after all of that and fix up a bunch of these HomePods. But it's aight. We just get through it. Now we gotta sniff those woofers, my guy. We can't skimp on the sniff. You never know if a HomePod is hiding a stinky woofer inside. I fixed plenty of these no power pods. We've gone in and found out that they were death farting long before they eventually had no power. Two totally unrelated issues, but perfectly possible to happen within the same HomePod at the same or different times. So here we are. We are at our DC filters. Oh yeah, get it on their bare hands. Ooh, that's hot. Here we are at the DC filters. This is just a little bit of maintenance that we do as part of every hardware repair worth taking these things apart. If we've got the amp board in front of us, one thing that we always want to replace are these filters. They are the DC filters for this job, and since they are ceramic capacitors, they naturally go bad. Whether they're being used or not, they have a shelf life, they go bad, and the consequence of that are stinky subwoofers and death farts, as many people call it. So we like to stay ahead of issues like that. I hate taking these things back for anything we can reasonably prevent, and this is just one of those things. Happens enough that it warrants replacing these when you have the chance to prevent problems. If you've got, the confidence and experience, you're trying to do this yourself. Don't tear your HomePod apart if it's your first time working on one of these and try to replace the filters willy-nilly just because. You'll probably cause more issues for yourself. So we got some new solder on there to help facilitate a solid connection for our new filters. The clear liquid that's all over the board is flux. It helps remove oxidation from our solder pads. The flux will react with the heat and clean the oxidation off and allow a nice proper bond and not some crappy clappy solder job that'll just fall apart on us. Alright, fancy new filters on there. Let's go at that dead diode now. This is what's failed and caused their power issues. You can see a 48K date code on there. Those are the ones we're looking out for. Let's get that replaced. Shoot, I have not done the claim for the Siri thing yet. I really need to. It's probably too late for me, huh? Did my wife beat me earlier? No, we're a pretty even match. So it'd be more like it'd be a pretty fair match. one brand new diode. This will permanently prevent the same problem from happening again. Unlike those filters that naturally go bad whether they're being used or not, that shouldn't have happened, and at least it won't happen again. Let's get it back together and move on to the next one. Anchor, welcome, welcome. Glad you could make it. That is your company. Oh, that'd be insane. That would be crazy. We have fixed the HomePod of the CEO of BlendJet. I think that's as far as I know, that's probably the biggest wig we've probably fixed for around here. I have a feeling we may have done some work here and there for possibly bigger wigs, but we just, you know, I don't do my research into every single person that reaches out to me to be for a potential fix. But CEO of BlendJet kind of sticks out in your email signature. Is my wife older than me? Nah, she's like a year and a half younger than I am. One of those maintenance items, a brand new subwoofer gasket made of solid rubber to replace the old foam stuff. Foam and speakers generally don't mix, and if they do, it's not a lasting mix. This solid rubber gives you a slightly better, cleaner bass response, and it'll last a lot longer. Sometimes at the start of, like, when I started doing this 3 years ago, every once in a while I would Google people's names just to see what they did, or if I was being bamboozled or not, for just making sure that it's just not someone messing with me, I guess. and I don't really have the time anymore to look people up. Usually people that what am I trying to say? I don't know. Whatever. I'm distracting myself here. Next thing I know, I'll forget an amplifier screw. But we're looking good. None left over. Imagine doing that without the electric screwdriver. Ooh, we did at the start. We fixed quite a few HomePods before we got our hands on the electric screwdriver. One or two a day, I wouldn't care. But any more than that a day, and it's yeah, you're gonna need one of those to save yourself. Ryan, welcome. This brand screwdriver is so bad, the battery is terrible, and that's kind of why I have it plugged in all the time. You got it. You bet. I find that I get a slight bump in power from leaving it plugged in while I use it. It's also really nice that you can use it while it's plugged in. I've found that a lot of these electric screwdrivers on Amazon don't let you use them while they're plugged in and charging. This one, total opposite. You wanna destroy your battery and leave it plugged in all the time? It'll let you. On battery, I'd say I can probably get through 6 to 8 HomePods on a single charge, and then it starts to slow down enough to the point where it doesn't have enough juice to tighten everything quite up to spec. But I have also I've tried like about a dozen different electric screwdrivers. People send them to me, and they say, hey, try this one out, try this one out. I've bought a few for myself to try out, and this one, it's got its problems, but it's the fastest and it's got the most torque that I've found out of any of them that you can get. So props to them for that. It's strong enough to handle any of the screws in the HomePod, and if it's not coming out with that, then you have a chance of that screw breaking before it comes out. Ryan, are you still at work, or did you get home? You go home. Will this summer be a brat summer? First of all, I'm not sure. I mean, I can listen to Charlie XCX, but I don't know if I can say that I'm gonna have a brat summer. Ugh. I don't know what kind of summer we're gonna have. Play lo-fi. Who do you think I am, Richard Nixon? Siri? I am not your voice assistant. I am not your AI assistant. You want to play lo-fi music? I'm sure you've got the means to do it. Hey, there we go. It's powering on. We kind of know what we're doing around here. Let's see if we can do it again with Oscar's new power pod. And then 3701, let's shoot them a message. See what's up with them. See, 3701. Okay, all right. Cool. So 3701 has been messaged.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info.
That sounds good. It looks good. Goodness. Here we go, Oscar. Oscar. Hooked on phonics. All right. So we've got Oscar here with no power, and then 3701 coming up after that. Let's see what we've got. Probably the same deal here. No lights, no power, no nothing. We've got the kilowatt meter says 4 watts at the wall. So same situation here. Probably not a blown fuse. It wouldn't show any power draw. It is probably the same dead diode on the amplifier. Let's dig in. Ryan, Patel is a surprisingly common last name. I've probably had like 3 or 4 Patels in the past 6 months, I want to say. It's kind of crazy. And I don't believe any of them are directly related to each other. Or maybe they are. Maybe it's all one giant happy Patel family, and they're just so happy with my services that they've all got HomePods that need fixing. And one of them happens to be your neighbor, or happened to. $250 times 200. Jeez. I don't know. What's the weather in 1 hour? That's funny. I just saw that. Close your ears. It's gonna get loud. Alright, you can open them again. Play lo-fi, play lo-fi, play lo-fi. All you guys want to do is blow my eardrums out. You wanted me to share play today so that you could bother me with your Serbian rap. Forrest Grump. That's a good one. I'll show you Forrest Grump. You want Grumpy? Alright, thanks for dropping by, folks. I hope to catch you in the next one. Just kidding. Oh, that's glued down, that's for sure. Jeez. Ah. Yes. Ooh, I'm sweating. Yeah. Alright, do she stink? Nope, it's a good woofer. We'll throw away that foam gasket. Oh, Stefan, I did. That's what all that is. Isopropyl alcohol or no isopropyl alcohol. Sometimes the glue just refuses to let go. Especially when it's like that thick. Ah! All this glue for nothing when they've got gaskets underneath all of it that do all this sealing in the first place. You'd think if they wanted the glue to do anything functional like sealing the speaker, they would have an even application that actually seals the whole thing, not this half-assed application that really does nothing other than make it harder for people to get in them. That's why we don't have to glue the things back together. You gotta go, Stefan? You just getting late? You getting tired? Get some sleep. It's gotta be like, what, 3, 4 a.m. over where you are right now? I'll be back in 15-20 minutes. Oh, you aren't gonna get any sleep today. Oh, 1 a.m? Almost 2 a.m? Not as bad as I thought. Still pretty bad, though. Man, you don't want to mess with your sleep. If there's one thing you don't want to mess with, it's your sleep. You'll make sure you get enough. Unless you want Alzheimer's. I hear that's like the #1 cause that they're finding for Alzheimer's is people not getting enough sleep. And it's not like you can catch up on lost sleep either. There is no such thing. Very nice. And flipping it around, let's get that dead diode. The other date code we look out for 6K. There's only two date codes we care about to replace. It's the 1746K and 1748K. Oh, I hear you, Nixon. Sleep is so inefficient. Like, okay. If you could pick one of three things that you never had to do again, what would it be? A. Sleeping. B. Using the restroom. Or C. Eating. I personally enjoy eating too much to get rid of that. So it's a tie between sleeping and having to use the restroom. I don't know which one I'd give up, but I do get a third of my life back if I can give up sleeping. And if I give up sleeping, does that mean that I give up the risk of Alzheimer's and other health complications that come from lack of sleep as well? I think that is a pretty fair... I think that's a pretty great pick right there. And like, don't get me wrong, I love sleeping, but more often than not, I never get good sleep. I never get enough sleep, and there's so much that I could get done in that time that I'm sleeping. Ooh, especially if it's in the middle of the night when no one else is out and around doing stuff. That's my favorite. I used to be huge into like waking up late, starting work late, and then staying at work late, and then staying up late. And then I just kind of switched out of nowhere. I'm trying to remember why. Why did I even... But now I'm up super early. I pretty much start my day job as soon as I wake up. And then I'm done by the time, by like 1 to 4 o'clock, depends on when I can start and what kind of issues I need to wrap up before I can hop on here and fix some stuff. But of course, that said, they've got my phone number and I'm salary. Technically, I'm at their mercy at any moment. I could have to drop this and go help Ryan with something. this bit is about done. It's a good thing I bought a bulk of them. Alright, the Ziploc bag's getting kind of annoying though. Huh. And then I caught her, I resealed it from the heat that, oh jeez. From trying to tear it open, the heat from tearing it resealed it. It did it again. This is malarkey. There we go. Okay. Okay, alright. Alright. Ah. I come in Mondays too. I got my 2 days in the office. Sometimes 3 if I can figure out which days you're not going to be there. Fire him at Ryan. Oh, Pierre. Stefan, I think you've got that hierarchy a little backwards. He doesn't really even work for me. I don't work for him. We're kind of in different departments. But I meddle in their support business enough that they can practically call me. Don't put back the logic board. What do you mean? You want me to sabotage this repair and not give him a logic board back? How rude. How rude. Can I repair the HomePod Mini? Kinda. They're kinda tricky. I need a true microscope if we're gonna fix minis. The components on them are actually too small for me to work with my naked eye. Unlike all the stuff in the biggie HomePods, I can work with everything without a microscope on these, but the minis, they're just way too small for me to replace half the components inside of them. But no power is seemingly pretty fixable. It's usually just a shorted capacitor somewhere. The tricky part's removing that capacitor without bumping everything else. And so far, I have just not gotten that down. I don't take the minis on for repair in any case. They end up taking as long as a full-sized HomePod to fix. And because of that, I would have to charge as much as a full-sized HomePod, which at that point it makes no sense. Nobody wants to pay more than it would cost to just replace it with a used one. The only thing that would make fixing a Mini cheaper isn't its size. Well, actually, technically, it is the size, but more so the weight of it, because it's so small and it's lighter. It would cost less to ship. But even then, not by much. I mean, you're talking like maybe $8 to ship the Mini instead of otherwise like $8 to $10 to ship a full-size HomePod. It is surprisingly cheap to ship anything under 6 pounds anywhere in America with USPS. UPS can be pretty hit or miss. They sometimes want to charge an arm and a leg even with discounts. And what's ironic is half the time, whenever people specifically request the more expensive UPS return shipping for their repair, UPS ends up taking longer to deliver it back to them, or giving them troubles along the way. USPS generally seems to just work, but everybody has their own experience with those, it seems. Around here, I've never had any issues with anything getting lost on the way to me. Usually UPS, if anybody loses anything, it's UPS losing something on the way back out. Or USPS loves to lose my envelopes, so I stopped shipping anything in envelopes. Only boxes. And people are like, why does it cost $10 to ship a ribbon cable across the world? And it's like, first of all, can you get this ribbon cable across the world for less than $10? And second of all, I can't ship it in an envelope unless you want a good chance of it getting lost. But now they want $14 for shipping, even if it's an envelope. So I might as well just use a box. And I'm not putting stamps on an envelope and hoping for the best. Can I repair a DVT iPhone 8 no power? I probably wouldn't touch it myself. I would probably take it to someone that's an expert in, iPhone 8s. Just because of it being a DVT. I have not really worked on any iPhones for no power. Granted, it would be somewhat easy to diagnose. It's a similar story to the HomePod minis. I don't have a good enough scope to see. And I would probably bump a couple of things trying to remove a shorted capacitor on an iPhone 8 logic board. I would hate to ruin a DVT especially. Can you leave a Yelp review? I mean, if you want to. There's nothing stopping you. Pretty much no one uses Yelp, though. Alright, here is 3701, and then after that is going to be Tony. Tony. Let's message a few folks. That's going to be a... I almost said their phone number. It is so hard not to read things out loud as I type them sometimes, and yeah, phone numbers are the last thing I want to be reading out here. All right.
I'm having trouble connecting to the...
Very good, very nice. On to the next one. Ryan, drive safe. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to bug you in the next one here soon. Stuff caught on under my wheels. All right. 3701. Let's get their info up here. After 3701 is going to be Tony. And then charged up jacks. 3503, we'll put a break there. Beautiful. Okay. When are we doing Felix's HomePod? So we've got 3701 here, and then we've got Tony, and then we've got charged up jacks. Let's see here. No lights, no power, couple of watts from the wall. Y'all know the drill. Let's get it. I'm just standing in the middle of my room watching this. That's funny. But I mean, I kind of do that sometimes. I'll just be standing in the middle of my living room as I'm watching a video. Okay, it beats sitting. I sat around plenty in the military. I don't need to be sitting around anymore. I'd really like to set up a standing workstation for our repair stream. Nah, not Air Force, Army. But Army MP. So there was a lot of death by PowerPoint. Oh, you were in the Air Force? I don't blame you for not associating with MPs. I do not like to associate with them, I'll say that. Man, like, the training itself was really fun. And then being able to go around base and just do patrols was really cool. But a lot of the people working the badge, obviously, freaking bad apples, man. Thankfully, the unit that I was in, like everyone in my unit they were great. They were good guys, except for one guy. He was pretty sketchy. I wouldn't trust him with my life. But yeah, they just it's just so impossible to use your brain without being punished for it. in a bad way. Like, you try to be smart about anything and you get reprimanded. And it just wasn't the job for me. Like hazing is absolutely real. Any opportunity they have to hurt you, essentially, they took it. They took it with pride and pleasure. Physically, emotionally, you name it, they break it. And if you try to fix it, they break it harder. I'll stick this on my subwoofer here and hopefully it'll magnetize it for me. Oh, you were Army. Fort Campbell 11 Bravo. Okay. I almost went hooah. God, help me. I don't even remember what unit I was in. I think it was like 501 Bravo. Was that it? I can't remember. I think it's been like almost 10 years now since I've been in the military. Shit. Pierre, yeah, you need a logic board, don't you, friend? People just keep needing these logic boards. Ah! Hold on, let me think for a second, because I've got Tony. Tony has been waiting for a logic board. I have, at the moment, one person that needs a logic board. Well, two people that need logic boards, you and Tony. And at the moment, I have two logic boards. I hate to get my hands on a parts pod and then immediately turn around and sell the parts without getting a chance to test them and make sure they're good first. Where was I stationed? I was stationed up here, where I live. We trained for a while out of this really tiny armory out in the middle of Centralia, Washington, and then we moved over to Joint Base Lewis McChord. It's so funny, we trained out of this dinky, super old armory on the top of a hill that looks like a castle. Looks like a literal brick castle. And we share the space with a bunch of engineers. Like a whole core of engineers. It was just so crazy that they had so many of us crammed into that tiny, old, stinky, crusty, cold building. And it was awful. Awful, but it beats the desert. Actually, I'm going to use this one to start things off. And we go for it. Okay. Joker. There we go. Tim Cook playing games with me from afar. Still a bit confused. Are you implying that every single device that has that bad diode batch in it is going to suffer the issue, or is there a chance that it won't ever go bad? There is a chance that it won't ever go bad. Absolutely possible. That said, if we've got it apart and we see a diode with the date code that we've seen failing elsewhere, it's worth us taking the time to replace it. I mean, the diode costs less than $1 and only takes a few minutes of our time. And we see them failing often enough. Welcome back, Stefan. Wait, that was fast. This one, standard dead diode, nothing special, no surprises. You can always rewind. I have the DVR enabled on the live stream. You can always go back and rewatch anything, and I don't take our past live streams down. You're always welcome to come back and rewatch. But this one wasn't any no surprises, nothing special. Dead diode. Gave us some new filters and a new subwoofer gasket while we were in there. Actually, we'll find out here in just a second. I mean, I think we all know what it's going to do, but... There we go. It's got power. So, it's time for Tony's HomePod here. And to do Tony's HomePod, we're going to need a parts pod. And then after Tony is going to be charged up jacks. So let's let them know. Unless they're still in the chat here with us. I don't know if they are.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
I don't know if they had to dip, but...
I'm having trouble
We'll go ahead and shoot them a message and let them know that they're coming up next here. All right. So we've got Tony and then charged up jacks. Before we crack open Tony's HomePod, we need to get our hands on a good working logic board for them. They've got the Blinkies on their HomePod, and we tried a software restore, but it was complaining about hardware issues with the main logic board, so rather than try to fix the main logic board, I prefer to replace them with ones that are still working. The repair for that error, the error that theirs was having in particular, is not a trivial repair with not great success. Still totally fixable, just not the most straightforward fix. That's mine. Sorry for... You don't gotta apologize for not rewinding. That's not a problem. It's kind of more just for everyone to hear and know. I got a lot of people that are like, hey, I got a lot of people that ask if I keep my streams up and if they can rewatch them or play them back later. Alright, the precious logic board has been procured. We'll save the rest of those parts for something else. Let's get Tony up here and get them all fixed up. Oh, they are quite dusty. They have been sitting around here for a minute. We will give it a nice good clean and wipe down before we send it back to him. I don't want to send it back to him looking like that. Because I know for a fact they didn't send it in to us looking like this, otherwise I wouldn't care. What the? Wow. I love when there's just magically a blob of thermal paste on my hands. Where did that come from? Nobody knows. Something something Cotton Eye Joe. What's my FICO score? I'm not telling you my FICO score. I'll say it's average. It's not good. It's not great. It's not bad. It's average. Still catching up from my bank not telling me that they froze my account out of nowhere for no reason for 3 days, which happened to be the same 3 days that I was getting my paycheck, which means all of my payments for everything bounced. It's not like I didn't have money. It's that they straight up froze my bank account, so I had a whole bunch of credit card payments, my car payment, rent, bills, literally everything was supposed to come out. And for whatever reason, my bank decided to lock my account and not tell me about it. And then 3 days later, they just unlocked it. And I didn't find out until everything didn't... I started getting a bunch of notifications that nothing actually successfully... Uh-oh. Tony, you've got, a roasted subwoofer in here, too? This is not, I hate to do it to you, but I might have to charge you a little more for this repair, considering you need a new logic board, You also apparently need a new subwoofer, a new resistor, a new Schottky diode, and new filters. This thing's been death farting. This thing has been... Let me double check my notes and make sure that you didn't tell me that first. Oh, come on, Google frickin' Docs garbage. Just show me the frickin' text. Why is it so difficult? Of course, Notepad doesn't want to show me everything either. Why is you doing anything these days so difficult? I've had my HomePod for 6 years and it's worked fine except for software issues. Yeah, I don't think those issues were software, my guy. I really hate this because I made them wait for this to get fixed too, and now I have to charge them more than the average repair on top of it. But I can't keep losing money on these repairs. They can, man, fuck. I'm gonna go throw this on my back porch really quick. I don't feel better. So, about a 680. You're close, but low. Yeah, man, I mean, if I'm gonna have to practically rebuild this whole HomePod and replace half its parts, I'm gonna have to charge them for, you know, having to replace half a HomePod. Actually, low key, folks, I'm about to jack up my repair prices. Not for everything. No power will stay the same. No bass / bass issues and death farts will potentially, they have the potential to cost the same, but they also have the potential to cost an extra $20. And then same with the ones with blinking volume buttons. It's going to be a $20 more as opposed to the $10 more that they have been in the past. That's just because I can't get my hands on parts anymore. I can't afford the parts. And so if it's an issue that requires replacing a whole component to fix it, then I have to charge for it. As much as I love fixing stuff, we can't do it as a charity. And but God, I feel so bad charging as much as we do for fixing these things still as it is, because you can get... The market's all messed up, man. Broken ones, people want more for broken ones than used working ones. Nobody wants to pay for a refurbished one with a warranty. It kind of makes sense, because at this age, the only people still hanging on to their first-gen HomePods are hardcore fans or people that have so many of them and they're so invested in it. They just really, it makes no sense to replace it all when you can pay under $100 to have one of them fixed and have the whole system up and going again. I used to have like 12 HomePods in my living room. I had eight in this room. I had a couple in the hallway. I had like 6 in the kitchen. I had a stereo pair in the guest bedroom and a stereo pair in our master bedroom, and a mini in the bathroom. I am down. I kid you not. I am down to. I mean, at one point I had like probably 50 HomePods online, just throughout my house for personal use, not for testing. They were my pods that I used. And then, it just repairs. The business just gets rougher and rougher. And it's gotten to the point where I've had to take apart most of my personal HomePods for parts. And I now have a grand total of 1, 2, 3. I have 3 HomePods online and working for myself still. Every single other HomePod that I had bought or kept or fixed for myself over the years, I've had to tear back down and reuse for parts. Kurt! Hello. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Okay, so this would be maintenance. However, these filters have definitely gone bad because their subwoofer was roasted. What the heck? I mean, what the heck? What a HomePod. I mean, it had the blinkies, so we tried the software restore, and it said, nah, your logic board's toast. But not only that, but I have been roasting the subwoofer. It's been roasting the subwoofer the whole time from these filters going bad. Not only that, but it blew up a resistor right here. That's destroyed. And we have a 48K dated diode. So had this not needed a new logic board, had it not, then it would have needed to get sent in for base issues and death farts. And had it not needed to get sent in for base issues and death farts, it would have needed to come in for that diode to get replaced when it inevitably caused no power. I mean, I don't know what the real chances are of every single diode with the same date code out there failing, but it remains true that we see only those date codes failing and a mix of dozens of date codes out there in use. So out of the dozens of date codes of diodes that were used, 2 of them in particular are the only ones that, when we look at a dead diode, that's what's there. Alright, let's get this diode out of here. I really wasn't expecting to get slapped in the face with all of this at once here. It's kind of putting me in a bad mood again. I don't like this. It's not something that offends me, Stefan, but, it would probably offend a few other people. It's real hit or miss here. Real hit or miss here. Okay, where is this coming from? What the heck? It's not on my chair. It's not on my desk. Why is thermal paste randomly appearing on my hands? I'm gonna lose my mind today. This is not the day for this. I mean, there's never really a day for a mess of thermal paste all over your hands, but today in particular, I'm not tolerating it. Oh, and of course, we almost forgot. This board needed us so much. Why? Why does it need so much? Stefan, why do I sincerely doubt that you will not offend anyone again here? I mean, a good rule of thumb, Stefan, if you have to ask, it's probably safe to err on the assumption that it's not. Like I said, I don't care, but in a public space around a bunch of other people, probably not the smartest. I mean, it's not offensive to me, but there are definitely more creative insults than ones that marginalize groups of people. Definitely better insults out there. Stefan, I think you misunderstood. I think maybe the slurs specifically you want to generally avoid. How much profit do I make on a major repair like this? The more it needs, the less I make off of it. So like I make the most profit on repairs for no power and ones with death farts that don't need new subwoofers. As soon as it needs a new subwoofer, let alone a logic board, let alone both, oh, I'm screwed if it needs both. I'm losing money if it needs both, even if I charge them an extra $20 for the repair. But I count on, and most of them end up being just needing a few board components, not the whole board. Well, and the thing is, you know, how do you quantify how much the labor costs? How do you can't just say, oh, an hour of my time costs this much. That's, you know, for the most part, that's an arbitrary value that I set, that I determine, you know, how much is my time worth and how much are people going to be willing to pay for my time. So, I mean, what I charge for labor is technically pure profit. But, I mean, if you, like, just a rough breakdown, the diodes, they're about $1 a piece. If I buy more of them, then I can get a slight discount on them, but they're still, you know, just $1 a piece. The filters often end up being $1 a piece. So if a home, you know, and a HomePod gets 4 new filters, so it's got $4 of filters in it, $1 diode. And then the subwoofer gaskets, I end up paying about $1 per unit for these. And so, and then shipping, I break even on shipping. I don't make any profit on shipping. I charge you pretty much exactly what it costs me to ship your stuff and give you the shipping label. So, out of a $70 no power HomePod repair, where it just needed new diode, new filters, and it also got a new gasket, you're looking at under $10 in parts, including, you know, like the fraction flux and solder and the diodes and filters in the gasket. About just under $10 for all the parts that it takes. And then $20 for shipping both ways. So that leaves me with about $40 in profit. So I'm getting paid about $40 to do the job. Now, if it needs, and that's also not including taxes that I have to pay on all of that. So I'm realistically making more like $20 in profit per no power HomePod repair. And then, you know, you start talking about ones that need a new logic board. It's hard to quantify that because I'm not buying logic boards. I'm buying broken HomePods for their parts so that I can use those parts to fix and replace and take care of other HomePods. So I mean, I typically pay, we'll say I pay about 60 to 80 bucks usually for broken HomePods. So quite often, obviously not everything works in a broken HomePod that I buy. So it's not like I'm buying a HomePod full of good parts. There's a good chance it also has a bad logic board, or it has a bad subwoofer, or it has an issue with the amp that can't be fixed. So as soon as something needs a new logic board or a new subwoofer, we basically break even. That's why we charge an extra 10 bucks if it needs a new subwoofer or a logic board. We maybe break even, maybe make $1, maybe lose a couple, more than likely lose a couple of dollars, but it doesn't happen frequently enough that we can get away with it. I'll probably end up increasing the repair prices for certain issues soon, just to maybe, I hate it. I hate doing it, but like that's what you do as a business. If you need to slow things down, if you need to that's what you do. You start charging. If you have too much business, you start charging more for it. And especially if your sources of parts are dwindling and becoming more expensive, that's what you just have to do. It sucks because I know what it's going to result in is less people being able to get their stuff fixed. But well, shoot, it is what it is, yeah. So here we go. Tony's finally all fixed up. We'll let him know, and we'll get him freaking out of here. So with that, I think we've got time for one more. I don't think we'll have time for any more after this. But here we go. We've got charged up jacks here with no power. And I see some drama in my live chat. I don't like drama in my live chat. I'm gonna have to take corrective actions, aren't I? Hold on. Before you guys get too freaked out in the chat, let me give me a second. Y'all getting upset in the chat. All right, and actually, we are going to take just a quick, brief little break here. I'm going to mute myself and step away for just a second, and we will be right back. I'm going to run over to Serbia and beat up Stefan real quick here. So give me just a second. Welcome back. Alright, let's get this thing fixed up before we run out of time here. We've got charged up jacks with no power, no lights. Goodness gosh golly, no nothing other than a couple of watts at the wall. That looks like the usual dead diode. Let's crank this out and get out of here, yeah. I do see a tiny crack on the top. No big deal. We'll just be careful around there. I don't want to make it any worse. It's a tiny little crack too. There's no arguing about it. It is what it is. It is what it is. But that's just kind of why I try to avoid saying any of that stuff altogether. I'd rather just not deal with it than try to involve myself one way or another. Yeah, just because it's not offensive where you live doesn't mean you should just go around and... Also, I point out the fact that you asked means that you thought about it, at the very least. Holy, wow. Have I been pepper sprayed and tased? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, twice. They tased me twice because they wanted to demonstrate to the class not only do obviously tasers have two modes of deployment. You've got the cartridge that explodes and shoots two barbed prongs at you, and they've got the conductive wire that connects it to the taser gun and it remotely zaps you, of course. And then you've got the dry stun, which they just drive the gun straight into your skin and zap you that way. And they were like, here's how they had to demonstrate. Freaking. If I had to choose between being shot by the barbs in the cartridge or the dry stun, I would pick the dry stun all day, because the dry stun is literally they just take the gun and they push it into you and they try to tase you through your clothes. With the cartridge, like I said, it's firing two barbs. It's firing two pronged barbs at you, and it's penetrating through your clothes, and it's dang near hooking into your skin and zapping you, giving you a direct connection that way. Way more painful. And I guess it's kind of... I wouldn't even describe it as pain. It's more like an involuntary, rapid vibration of the whole body and muscles. It's an experience, I'll say that. If you've ever accidentally stuck your hand in an outlet or a light bulb socket while it had power, it's kind of like that, but like 1,000 times worse. Hmm. Oh yeah. I imagine 220 would kill you. But here in America, we've got wimpy, weak ol' 120 if you're lucky. I get 110. I only see 110 volts at my house. I never see anything above 110. 110 volts shouldn't kill you. It'll make you feel funny, but it shouldn't kill you. But it's not, it's a little more complicated than, X number of volts won't kill you. It's there's multiple considerations. There's the voltage, the amperage, the resistance. All that plays into whether you're gonna die or not touching it. Can I speed run the reassembly? Oh, do you think I'm not trying as hard as I can ever? Come on, let's go. What the hell? Why is this not working? There we go. Oh, that's funny. I do legitimately like pretty much try to take these apart and fix them and put them together as fast as I can. I don't want to rush anything because that's when you make mistakes, but I'm not speedrunning. I don't speedrun, maybe. We'll see how fast I can. I'll try, but you're probably not gonna. I guess what I'm saying is you're not gonna see much of an improvement because I pretty much try as hard as I can. I'm pedal to the metal all the time. I'm constantly locked in, bro. What do the kids say? I don't think you're fit. Oh. I think that everybody is overreacting. And hopefully we can all move on. And everybody takes just an extra nanosecond to think what they say before they say it. Be it Richard, be it Stefan, heck, be it me. I'm not taking your mod though, Stefan. I mean, if you don't think that you can act appropriately to be a moderator, I'll take it from you, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, you said a bad word once, I'm taking it from you. Don't forget about excited delirium. What is that referring to? What do they mean by that? You just want me to be able to finish, or be done for the night faster. Oh, that's real nice. I appreciate that. That's the nicest thing anybody's said to me in a long time. What do you say we don't speak of this incident ever ever again and just move on? Like I said, bro. It doesn't bother me. My concern is more just what other people think and see and say. Just keep in mind, if you want to be a moderator, in a sense, what you say, people think I agree with, or would echo or also say. In a sense, you kind of represent me. So just keep that in mind. If you want to go off the rails, if you want to be off the rails, I can take your mod, and you can be who you want to be and say whatever you want to say. But if you want to be a mod, you just got to keep in mind that people might be thinking that what you're saying is the same things that I would say, and that's not gonna. That's I don't want that to be bad things. I've been needing to say thank you for helping that fella get through their software restore last night. Or was that this morning? I don't remember, but I saw you helping them out with that. I really appreciate that. Excited Delirium. Oh, look up Excited Delirium by. Okay, I'll do that. Hey Jamie, pull that up. Pull up that clip. Dang. Does anybody else miss Joe Rogan before he went totally off the rails? Wait, can I say whatever I want because I'm not a mod? Technically, yeah. You're still subject to getting banned from saying something too stupid or heinous or, against the terms of service. But, yeah, I mean, you can say whatever you want. I don't care what you say if you're not a moderator. I only genuinely care what you say if you're a mod. I don't even really care. There's like 10 people in here, and we never need moderation in the chat in the first place. But still. I don't want people thinking that I condone everything. I've got standards. A good watch. Mad Jokes. Are you talking about Axon, like the technology and like body worn camera company? It's kind of funny that you bring that up because my day job recently did an integration with Axon. They do. It's body worn cameras, right? Is that the Axon you're talking about? Richard's about to say the most heinous thing that humanity has ever heard. I don't know about that. I'm sure Richard was coming from a good place. I'm sure he had the best of intentions when he got worked up about you saying what you said. I'm gonna try not to fault them for that. But I also never got to see what they said. They deleted their messages, and I never got to see what they said. So all I've got's what you guys are telling me. And I take what people tell me with a grain of salt. That might be a pretty big grain of salt, or it might be a small grain of salt, but nonetheless. I like to judge for myself. Axon's tasers causing excited delirium. Oh! Yes! Oh! Goodness. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have to watch that later tonight. Thank you for the suggestion. From the looks of it, we might have time for some more fixes here. We'll just keep cranking them out until we run out of time here. I forgot to speed run the reassembly of this. I'm sorry, Richard Nixon. It's kind of weird to just refer to you like that. I guess I could call you the Indestructible, but I think it's more entertaining to just mention Richard Nixon's name out of nowhere. Hey, the other Richard's here still with us. Alright. We're not doing too bad then, folks. Who is Richard Nixon? I mean, he's in the chat right there. You can ask him yourself. Go to China, Stefan. You want HomePods? Go to China. You won't know what to do with all the HomePods you can get your hands on. Like you could go to China or you could go to America. But those are the two countries you'll want to go to if you want to get your hands on more HomePods. If I raise prices, add a 1-week grace period. Yeah, it'll be like an official, like I'll give people like an actual heads up before I just do it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest with you guys. As I was unboxing everything that showed up for today's repair queue, and as I was triaging things, I pulled out like three more bricks, like blinking volume buttons pods, and I was like, okay, screw this. And I immediately went to my Google Doc, or the Google form, and I started changing the repair prices, and I was like, okay, fine. You want to get this fixed? You're going to have to pay for it. And then I was like, oh, wait. I took a step back, and I undid the changes, and I said, okay, I'll give people proper notice. I'll figure out a better price plan for these repairs that take extra. Something's funny. Something's kind of strange. It's on.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Yeah, it's on.
For more,
it's on. It's just not showing us anything.
I'm having trouble connecting to...
Not showing us anything on the display. What's up with our display? I was gonna fix another HomePod, now we gotta mess with this one still. What is up here? Is it our ribbon cable? Is it our display? Oh no, it is! I wonder if this was their problem the whole time too. I mean, oh, it definitely was. It definitely was. How did I not notice that on our way taking this apart? There's a dent on the top of the logic board, which implies before this was even ever sent in to us. Actually, hold on. No, it could have happened on the way to us, but considering there is a tiny little crack right here and a big scratch right here. I almost wonder if Charged Up Jax's HomePod here was dropped before they sent it to us, but after it had its dead diode issue on the amplifier. So 2 different issues again here. If you want to see what I'm talking about, I'll go ahead and exaggerate what's going on here. So what happened was it got dropped, and that will push this in like that, which separates this board from the display, which renders it basically completely useless. Into the parts pile with that display. Let's grab another one here and prove ourselves. I think we still got time for more. We've got at least 1 more pod's worth of time until I've got a notification that my wife picked up dinner. When I get the notification that my wife picked up dinner and she's on the way, then we've got like 10-15 minutes left. Almost a HomePod's worth. And that's the time. We'll be out. Yeah, like they could have legitimately avoided a lot of these physical damage issues with the displays by making the top of it flat and not convex. But you can't say it doesn't look good. And to be fair, like, can you do, like, how much can you really design against, you know, anticipating someone dropping it so many times on its head? Yep. You said it in the chat. You beat me to it. But anyways, there you go. Never doubt me. Neil, it is time for Neil with some bad bass. Richard Nixon's got their wish. Richard, here you go.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Yes, very good, very nice. So here's Neil with some bad bass. Let's see how bad it's gotten. And let's let them know that they are up for fixing here. Are we caught up with at least everything else? Let's see. Oh, we are. Yes. Okay. These folks are going to be hopefully pleasantly pleased that we're getting to this sooner than we expected. There we go. And
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
all right, so that sounds like some bad filters. We've got Neil with bad DC filters. Coming up after Neil, if we've got the time for it, is going to be number 3687. There we go. And let's see here. Oh, we're gonna keep plugging away. We're gonna keep fixing these for as long as we've got the time to fix them. I mean, until my wife gets home. If we end now, then I would pretty much grab a beer and go hang out in the living room and kill my hearing, damage my hearing listening to loud music too loud until my wife gets home. So I'd rather oh, we already checked this. I'd rather save myself some extra work for tomorrow and get these fixed up here today. Let's dig in. No, don't abuse your mod privileges, Stefan. Be nice. Play nice. Everyone get along. Get along now. There's plenty of bigger problems to worry about. Like, where am I gonna move? I need to buy a house. But am I gonna buy a house in America? Or am I gonna freaking dip? Am I out of here? Well, we'll see what the next 6 to 12 months holds for us here. If the repairs keep at a steady pace that they are, I'll be surprised, but likely staying. But if they dramatically slow down, I would consider moving to another country. My wife's already thinking about it. She's thinking about getting a job in Japan and taking the kid with her and not waiting for me. She'll get an apartment, and I'll keep working here in the States. We'll both make a bunch of money and then buy a house somewhere in Japan. I'll move over there and we'll live happily ever after until there's a reason for us to move out of Japan. I really don't want to, though, man. Like, I don't know if that's just because I'm so comfortable with what I've got here, or if I just don't want to put up the effort to move to another country, or if I legitimately just don't think that it's the best choice for us. But she is very, 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 very much convinced, and she's smarter than I am. So I have to concede when she absolutely schools me on a debate whether it'll be better for our kid to raise her in Japan or America. I can't win. She's just freaking. I can fix a speaker, but she knows how to actually live. Do I have VA disability? No, but I really need to get off my ass and apply for it. I need to do it sooner than later, because I qualify for probably like 80, 90, heck, I might even qualify for full 100% disability from everything they've done to me. But man, my stepmom, not my stepmom, my mother-in-law had her back broken by the military during training, and she has been fighting disability in the VA, trying to get it approved. And back October, November-ish of this past year, she got preliminarily approved for her disability. 100%. She was gonna get like $5 or $6 grand a month, plus a big fat check backdating from the date that she submitted for disability. And then, you know, they pay her, they continue paying her, and they continue having her show up to her appointments. And I mean, I won't say it, but now all of a sudden her disability gets denied. It got not only denied, but now she owes everything that they paid her up to this point, plus extra. My wife's home. Oh no. Oh, I'm so dead. Oh, I'm so cooked. Oh, I'm cooked, bros. Oh, folks, we'll have to save the rest of this story for the next stream. I gotta get out of here and help her bring stuff in. I didn't even realize she was home, let alone on the way. Oh no, folks. You'll be lucky if you see me ever again. I hope to catch you in the next one, and I hope you all enjoyed this one. Goodbye. Also, Neil, so sorry. We'll wrap yours up tomorrow.